So Deeks, a 1-1 draw today with FC United and Manchester at home. What are your thoughts overall on that performance?
Do you know what? The lads gave me everything, and sometimes you have to give credit to the opposition in terms of they came and had a right go today, and they're a good side. And I think on the reflection of the game, I think first half they had the better of the chances. We didn't play particularly well in the first half, but conceded a sloppy goal. But then we got back into the game. Great finish from Lavan. And I think it was really difficult out there, the dry pitch with the 4G, and it was hard to get the ball down and zip it around like we'd like to. But they gave me everything, and I can't fault them for that. And I think on the balance of reflection, probably a draw is a fair result. Yes, we've had a chance at the end, and we've watched the video back. It's very, very close. But the linesman's banging line. To be fair to him, he's gave it. So like last couple of weeks, we've had two last-minute winners. So. It evens itself out over the course of the season, but it's nice if that one would have stood and gone in today. But we'll keep going. Like I said, and there's 4 points as the gap. We're well aware of that. We know what we've got to do. We're reliant on obviously teams slipping up above us, but they'll keep going, and I think that was evident to see today through the 90 minutes.
And it was always going to be a tough game, and like you say, there was the goal at the end that wasn't a goal, and there was a lot of pressure we were putting on towards the end of the match. But does that rub salt in the wounds a little bit more that we couldn't get that goal late on?
It's a tough question, to be fair, because you're obviously disappointed you've not won a game, but we haven't lost. And I think this time of the season, if you've got a team that goes for 95 minutes, 96 minutes, and is able to do so and goes to the very last seconds and keeps going, I think that's worth its weight in gold. And I think that's credit to them as a group in terms of their mentality. The never say die attitude. It wasn't our best today. I think it was evident to see, but they kept doing things, the basics, very well. There was running hard, there was tackling, there was competing, and that's sometimes what you have to do. And you're right. There was only one team I felt at the later stages that was probably going to go on and win it, unless they caught us on the counter, went to a back three. We had 5 up front. I was kind of playing a 3-2-5 at the end. We knew what we had to do. We had to go and try and win a game of football, and they set out to do that. Unfortunately, it wasn't our day today in terms of we didn't get the win. But I think it's important that it's not over yet. I think the lads are disappointed in there. But I just reminded them, I said, it's not over, you've not lost a game of football. I'm sitting here on the balance of play thinking, okay, we've shown me everything that I need to show me, but can we just be a little bit better in terms of the quality that we have the ball in and around their box. We put one decent cross in today. We identified that as an area where we needed to be better at. Jamie puts it in, unfortunately it was offside. We need to put more of them balls into the box to give the strikers a chance to score goals as a team, not just individuals. So, it's disappointing, obviously not to win, but like I said, proud of the players today. Not easy conditions, and you have to give credit to the opposition. They were a good side. They've had some chances in the first half, and my keeper's pulled off a few good saves. And yes, we put a lot of pressure on for the last 10-15 minutes, but they sat back, to be fair, so invited it on. And fair play to them. Two good sides having a good battle, and probably a draw is a fair result.
Now, Jamie Walker came back from suspension today, and obviously there's a few injuries returning. I think Cornell, is he back soon?
Yes, I think it was his last game today in terms of his suspension, so he'll be back ready for selection next week. We've got lads out there that are patched up, and every team has, but these lads are running through brick walls for their teammates, for the fans, for this football club, and like I said, and for me, and I can't ask any more of them. So I know I keep reiterating that, but it is literally that at the moment. So he'll be back next week. Obviously, Jamie came back into the side today because we thought he'd be fresh, give us a little bit of impetus. The Harvey battle well up front, he was getting ranked all over the place for no fouls on him at all. It's a tough one because you've got a really good group of players, and Dicko was struggling with his hamstring last week. He came off at half time, didn't train Tuesday, trained for 40 minutes on Thursday. Lyndon was away last week, but we'll have those bodies fresh and ready to go in for next week, and we'll assess the players obviously moving into next week, give them the night off on Tuesday because I think they need it. We'll come in Thursday, do a light session. This time of the year they don't really need to work on much. It's just about the sheer will to get through a game, and the fitness levels are good. So we'll hopefully have a clean bill of health for next week. We know we're going to have to go there and obviously and graft hard again. No easy place to go, hence why they're champions. But these guys have got nothing to lose, and I think when that's the case, and they take the shackles off, as you've seen kind of last 15-20 minutes of the game, that's when they're at the best and they play with freedom. And I've said I want you to go and do that now every time you take the pitch, and that's been the message from the start really. But we've got to forget as well like how many young players we've got in this team. They're still learning on the job. I have full faith in them, and they'll give it their everything.
Well, you've got a few games remaining now until the end of the season. Obviously, Ashton lost today. Big game coming up against Macclesfield, like you say, at the weekend. Is it literally just about mentality now going into those last few games?
Yeah, they've got the mentality. That's not in question. I think it's evident to see every time they take the pitch. As individuals, as a collective, and that's us included as a staff. We've got a will to win, and we back each other. We've not had a high turnover of players like a lot of the clubs in the league. Quite a tight knit group, and they fight for each other. And sometimes when you're not at your best, that's the quality that you need, and I think that's important moving forward. Yes, we'll go there and obviously try and win the game. That's what we've got to do. I know I'm under no illusion it's not going to be an easy task, but all we can focus on is what we're doing, and we picked a point up today on the team above us, so that's all we can do. We've gained something on them, and we'll continue to strive to get there. Whether we do or not is in the lap of the gods, but we can only do our part, so we'll do our very, very best to do that.
Cheers, Deeks.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.